Hi everyone and welcome to this Quizizz webinar. Really excited to see you all here. Hoping that you can hear me okay. I can see the screen okay. Just let me know in the chat. Very excited. I can see that good old Alex is here. Long time no see. And Jessica is here too. Very cool. But yeah, welcome. I hope you can hear me okay because I am using my mobile data, so who knows? Hopefully it's working. But yeah, it's really nice to see you all here today. And thanks for letting me know it is all good. So welcome. So yeah, this is me, just in case you've never heard of me before or I'm like a weirdo or whatever. So that's my name there. Yeah, I teach secondary school maths. I'm currently in Malawi right now. I am Australian, but yeah, I'm teaching over here at the moment. I am a super trainer and an ambassador, and I'm also a leader for Global GEG. So it's really interesting. So the reason why I decided to run this as like a YouTube live stream is because there was some interest online and people were like, oh yes, I really like to hear about Quizizz and the AI and that sort of thing, which is really cool. And because like I'd done a Zoom like about 1.5 weeks ago, and like GG Aman, like from Jordan, they reached out to me saying, yes, can you please do a session? So like basically like anyone who's like basically anyone can access it, right? And they can come back to it if they need. And yay, who's joining here? So we have Alice, welcome, and Rula as well. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your names right. But yeah, really nice to see you all. So what is actually happening today? So even though like the big focus is on AI, which I'm sure you're very excited about, I will, intro Quizizz from the beginning. So anyone that is new to Quizizz, will get, a basic overview. Just let me know in the chat maybe about how much experience you have. So have you used Quizizz before? What are you excited about for today? That would be really nice so I can hear about your experience and how much I really should go over. But yes, so this is the idea. So some intro about Quizizz, then I will delve into the Quizizz AI feature. And then hopefully if there's enough of you, we'll do Mastery Peak together. We'll play like a live game. Hopefully you can be excited about that. So without much further ado, so for those that already know about Quizizz, maybe this is not new for you, but just in case you are new, I am going through like the super basics of what is Quizizz, okay? So we do have here for you all, okay, about why we use Quizizz and what's it for. I mean, it's assessment, instruction, and practice, and hopefully motivate students, to achieve mastery. That is the idea. Yeah, I mean, that's what Quizizz is really. I'm going to play this very short video here. Obviously, if you already know Quizizz, it's not new to you, but just in case it's, it is new, you can have a quick look.
Quizizz helps teachers save time. Here's how it works. First, create a new quiz, or mix and match millions of teacher-created questions. Next, students play at their own pace, in class or at home. Every learner competes to improve, and retakes are a cinch. While students play, Quizizz handles the grading. Instantly, you see what each student has mastered, know where they can improve, and share their progress with tools like Google Classroom. Find a quiz now.
Okay, so there you go, little bit and bob from Quizizz that gives you like an overview. This slide really shows you about like the amount of impact Quizizz has. It might be even like more than this now. Maybe these slides are already outdated, but you can see there's a lot of very large numbers there about like how Quizizz is really impacting around the world. So basically you can see at the bottom there, want to motivate the students, save some time, guide students becoming masters, So I don't know if you've used other platforms before, but basically Quizizz, it's student-paced. You can give them real-time feedback. As they're doing the questions, they can get feedback about what they're doing. There's an amazing library. You can have your own advice. And of course, it's awesome. Just like you guys for joining me here today, whether you're like watching this live or watching the replay, appreciate you being here. And hopefully this is a cool resource for you. So what is actually beneficial about Quizizz? You can actually retain information better. That is the idea. It's easier to assess and you can collaborate. And how we can use it. Okay, so very fun review sessions, quick tests, pop quizzes can be used for classwork or remote quizzes. There's like so many different options. So basically, if this is your first time checking out Quizizz ever, so basically how it works is that, you as a teacher, you create a quiz or a lesson, because we also have a lesson feature in Quizizz, which is really epic. But I'm just going to focus on the quiz side today. But if you want something else on lessons, I can do that. But basically, and then you share a unique code with the kiddos, and then the kids play the quiz or the lesson, and then you get like awesome reports after that, which is super cool. And okay, so let's get started here. Let me just check the chat if there's anything going on here. So hello, yes, there's a lot of questions per day. And hello, Alice. And there's Peely from Mexico. Nice to see you there. So the next part is basically I'm going to do a live demo on how to get into Quizizz. So literally I can do quizizz.com, and this is just a basic overview. So you will press log in, and you can continue with Google, or if you have another email, or if you use your Microsoft School, and you can see there's other options there to join. You can just click and in you go. So from this, I'm not spending a lot of time on this, but just in case, I want to know how to get started here. Usually what you would do is that from here, you could search for a Quizizz that is already created. Literally, I could look for the digestive system and be like, ooh, this is very cool. I really like this one. There's lots of different options here. Am I like, oh, I like this. I want to save this, or I want to edit it, or do I want all the things? Anyway, so you can literally do that. Or if we go back to the main Quizizz page, if I want to create a Quizizz from scratch like myself, I can go to this Quizizz option and create from scratch. I will talk about the AI later, don't worry, okay? So this is traditional way. So traditional way with Quizizz, you would say create from scratch. You can create your own questions from like zero, or you can search from the library. Okay, I want to create a Quizizz that's about Australia, because why not? And I can go and see, okay, so what questions do I like? Okay, I like naming Australia's capital city. Why not? When is the winter in Australia? Maybe I want to have something about Malawi, because that's where I am right now. But literally you can just, I don't know what that says, but yes. Okay, food security, okay, and the staple crop. I mean, you know what I'm doing, okay? So once you've got all the questions you want, you're like, woohoo, I can upload images for my quiz. I can edit things there. But that's how easy it is to create a quiz. Literally, I did not actually create any questions from scratch there. I just got other people's and borrowed them. And you can go in here and edit and all that sort of thing. It's quite exciting, okay? But that's the traditional way. So that's the way that you usually start. And then you go and, yes, let's publish it. I should probably name it random Qs on countries. And let's just go for other right now. And the grades, let's go for professional development. But anyway, in general, you just publish the quiz and then you can run it. So I can start it live, or I can assign it as homework, or I can enhance with AI too. So that's the basics. Okay, that is a starting point. I don't know if anyone has questions about the basics. I think most people in the chat right now might have experience with Quizizz already. So maybe you're ready for me to get into the AI already. Yes, maybe. You can let me know in the chat. I don't know about your experiences, just let me know. So I'll write in here. So share in the chat your experience with Quizizz, so I have an idea if I do need to, go into more detail or not. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my main tab here, because that was just an intro about, in general, what Quizizz is and how to get started with it. So, but however, okay, So I just showed you the basics, right? But what if you want a facelift? You want to make it look prettier. Or if you want to translate the questions to another language, you want to make it more fun. What about a Barbie theme? What if you want to change the questions instead of being just, half plus three quarters? What is that? You want to change it to like a real world scenario. You can see my amazing Bitmoji. Yes, I'm posing. So basically you can use Quizizz AI to do this. So again, I have a very quick video here. It's very short, just to give you a quick overview. Then I'm going to do a live demo. Okay, just let me know if you've got any questions at any stage and I will answer them as soon as I can. Okay, well, there you have it. That's a quick teaser. Some of you might have seen that trailer before about Quizizz AI, and I will demo it for you, so don't worry too much. So let's just see what's going on in the chat here. So welcome, Gadia from Jordan, and Alex is sharing his experience from Quizizz. Quite confident, fantastic. And yes, lots of creative opportunities. And just, yes, AI is such a teacher bestie. Yes, makes our lives quite a bit easier. So, and I've got Hadami from Jordan, very exciting. Welcome, welcome all. Remember, you can always, come back to this. And if you missed out on bits and pieces, you can go back and rewatch, okay? So what is next? What did I put here? Oh, my goodness me. Okay. Did I do that? I don't know. Okay, here we go. So what am I going to show you? Show you how to use, like, if you already have some teaching resources, how you use those immediately instead of starting from scratch, and how to make quizzes and any assignments like more accessible, and how to keep your learning both relevant and fun. And thanks, Ruler, for sharing. So you used once and you would like to learn more. So, well, welcome. So let's go, shall we? So I'm going to share my Quizizz screen again. So here we are. So earlier I might have shown, like, you could have seen a quick preview. And so basically when we go to create, and basically after today, okay, I'm going to give you a form to fill out at the end and you'll have access to the AI beta yourself to go and play with, okay? So for me, when I press create, I have options for quiz and lesson. We're just focusing on quizzes today. So I'm going to click that. And you'll notice there are different options here, and a couple of them have an AI option there. So I'm going to go to the one that says text to quiz to start off with. So basically with text to quiz, you can input any text and it would generate a quiz for you based on what you are asking. And yes, it is available on the free Quizizz. You do not need like a super account or upgraded account. Most people don't have access to it yet because it is in beta. But for you guys, because you are here and my participants, and if you fill in the Google form that I'm going to send you later, you will get access. But it is slowly rolling out across the accounts anyway, if you are a Quizizz user. Okay, so don't worry, you don't need to pay anything for Quizizz AI at this stage. So anyway, so text to quiz, I can write anything I want. So I might say create a quiz on poetry by Shakespeare. for example. Okay, you can put as much detail as you like in there. It really doesn't matter. And you can say like what style you want it to be written in. I'm just doing something simple for now. And you'll notice at the bottom here, you have an option for grade and number of questions. So if you're saying that this is for grade 9, for example, I can say grade 9. And how many questions? Let's just say I want to have 10 questions. I can select 10 questions. You see there's different options here. So the thing is that if you're not sure, you can just leave it as automatic and it will just create based on, how much content it has. So let's just say I want 10 questions and let's go to generate questions and let's see what happens here. It might take several seconds. You can also give me some prompts in the chat if there's something that you want me to create. Like you have a prompt you want me to try for you. There's some sort of topics, you want me to explore. I can also do that. Okay. So you see now it has generated some questions here that are about poetry from Shakespeare. So we can go through and edit the questions too if there's anything here that we don't really like. So we got which play is a famous line, what's the name of the famous sonnet, what's a tragedy. Sometimes AI might repeat questions or something, so you can just go through and see, is there anything that's repeated? No, everything is quite different. It's created 10 questions for me, which is really nice. You see, just from that prompt. So you can suggest anything you like. So feel free, okay, to share in the chat, okay, anything you want me to put in, because I can create anything for you from here, so obviously you can explore yourself too after, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to put in the chat just in case it's easier for people to read there. Okay, like to share. Okay. Now, from here, you also have options. Can you see here there is like this magic button? So the little wand there, so you can pretend you're like Harry Potter, basically is AI. So I can go from here to convert it to a different type of question because right now it's a multiple choice, right? So I can decide I want to change it to a drag and drop question, and we'll wait for it. Let's see how it goes with this. But the thing is that it will modify it for you and maybe you'll be happy with it, maybe not. Okay, so it's saying, okay, so it's changed it into like a fill in the blank sort of thing. So you would drag Hamlet into there, But yes, you can decide, if you want to change the question type. You also have a thing for grammatical errors. Maybe you see there's a question, like in general, like you've taken a question from somewhere else and you want to just make sure there's no grammatical errors in there. You can fix that, which is very cool. You can convert it to a real world scenario. I'm not sure what it's going to do for this, but we can have a look. Okay, I can see Alex's suggestion there in the chat. Let's see what it does. I'm not sure what it's going to do for real life for something with here. Oh, okay. So it's saying, imagine you are in a literature quiz and the host asks from which play does a famous line to blah, 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 blah originate. Okay, so it's putting you in a role. It's giving you some context, which is nice. Anything else here? I could replace it with a similar question. I can translate it to any of these particular languages. So at the moment, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 languages. But I could be like, okay, not listed here. And I can say translate to, I don't know what language was missing there. I should have looked. I could say Arabic, for example. Maybe Arabic was there. I don't know. So if I do that, let me see if there's anything going on here at the moment in the chat. Not yet. So the question, so obviously it's probably using like a Google Translate sort of thing. And I don't know how accurate that is because I do not know Arabic. I mean, I could translate it to Chinese and maybe I would know a bit better, or Spanish, but yes. Okay, so you can choose to do that. And you can also customize it with a prompt. So Alex suggested in the chat here, let's see, what did he suggest? Make the question sound more like the Incredible Hulk is asking them. So make the question sound like the Incredible Hulk is asking it. Let's have a look. Let's see what this sounds like. If you have other suggestions, remember, you can write them in the chat and we can explore, we can check this out. Remember, this AI feature was just from creating from a text prompt, okay? Okay, so this is the option here. It says Hulk ask to be or not to be that question from which play. So that is apparently the the way that Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, would say it. But you can change it to anything you like. So if I was going to say something else, sound like, what about like Shakespeare? I wonder what would happen here if I actually did that here. So I've already got like a prompt here. I can't make it sound like Shakespeare. So Shakespeare's actually asking this question. Not sure how that would sound. I have some other prompts and ideas, but if you have any ideas yourself, I mean, you can put them in the chat, guys, okay? From which play does the renowned phrase, blah, 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 originate? So it's like a bit more formal, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. There are some prompts, that you could use. Now, obviously, this is just question by question. If you want to do them all at the same time, you have a couple of options. I can go from here and say, it says AI enhancements are here, and I can say try now. And I can say change all questions to be read in the style of the Incredible Hulk, for example. And this should change all of the questions to be read in that particular style instead of just going one by one, which is like what I was doing there. Okay. I'm just reading like what you guys are putting in the chat there. Hulk asked to, so you see, it's a lot like Hulk is like saying it in first person, right? He's just like, yes, Hulk asked, well, not first person, third person, I guess. Okay, so you can see how like the language of each of the questions changed, right? Anyway, so you can see like the different options you have here and how it might sound. And I've got Alex mentioning Edgar Allan Poe. Or might try that with something else. Remember, if you have any subjects that you like, for example, this was clearly like a literature or English example, you can tell me in the chat like what subjects you teach, okay? If there's like a subject that you want me to put in here that isn't English, just let me know, okay? Homer Simpson, you're probably going to say dough on everything. Let's have a look. Let me go out. I'm just exploring. Okay, I'll show you the other option to change all the things while I'm here. So if after you've published, let's publish it. I'm just going to publish like that. I should select a subject. Let's go with English. I'm just going to say PD. So if you've published a quiz, you can also edit from here. So you see at the top here, we have worksheet, save, and then AI enhance. So if you've already published a quiz or you've seen a quiz that you're like, oh, this is interesting, but I want to edit it, but using AI, I can go to AI enhance from here instead of doing it from like your editing screen. Okay, so let's just say, make it sound like all questions are being asked by Homer Simpson. Anyway, so you really can customize however you want. You would have seen some other sample prompts there. So like make it sound interesting, make it sound energetic. You can really just change like the tone or like how things sound by just with the prompt. Okay, you can be as specific as you like. So literally, okay, at the start of every sentence here, it says dough or dough. I don't even know how to pronounce that really. Who the big cheese in that play, Macbeth? Okay, anyway, you get the idea here. Okay, about you can change the style of the writing according to however you like. Okay, remember you can translate any quiz about to be anything. Okay, so I'm going to say just exploring. So remember, whenever you go to AI Enhance, you can say whatever. You can see here, there are a few options here. So make it fun, modify the topic, custom text, translate. So I can translate to Spanish if I want, and then it will translate all the questions and the options to Spanish. Yeah. And Pilly's asking about fluid forces. I do not know what that is, but we can definitely play with that. So you see, I don't know how accurate the Spanish is, but Pili can definitely say that. So you can see it's where she can confirm. But remember that if you are not happy with them, even if you save the changes, you can go and edit. So maybe there's one word that you're not happy with, you can go and edit that stuff. So you don't need to feel like, oh, I just did this and now I'm stuck with this forever. No. Okay. You can be free and edit and whatever. Okay. So it's up to you. Yes. So I don't know if there's any questions at the moment about what we have been doing here, or we're okay. No one is really saying anything right now. So, I mean, I can create one more. So go and create quiz with the text, or I can paste a link. So if I go, for example, let me share a tab. So let me look for fluid forces. I have no idea what those are. I don't know what that is. Let's have a look at this website. I don't know if this is going to, oh no, this is some weird thing. Oh yeah, no, there's some stuff here. Okay, so I've got this website, right? Okay, so I'm like, okay, maybe this could be a good resource and I want to create a quiz from here. So I can just copy this website address. And in here, we have an option for pasting a link, right? So I can go in here and I can paste a link. And you just need to be careful that the URL that you use is public. So if you have your own Google site, for example, which is private, it's only for you and your students, Quizizz can't access that. Okay, so you just need to have a public site. So using like a Wikipedia link or like Britannica or something that's accessible to anyone on the web, that's fine. Or like YouTube, I've used YouTube before and I've put that in here. It's generated a quiz for me. Again, you can choose how many questions you want. Yeah, so I don't know how many questions Pili wants. I'm just going to say 8 questions for now, maybe. Maybe it's saying, so this looks very crazy over here. Let's have a look. Maybe it's not happy with this because it has some weird things in here, because right now I can't generate questions. So maybe I'm going to have a look at another link. I'm going to, let's have a look here. Oh, look at all these things that are suggested. Let me look for, what did Pili say? Fluid forces. Okay, so if I look for fluid forces, and I don't know, we have a
hey, it's Professor
here. Let's copy this link and put this in here instead. Okay, and this one is accessible. So let's generate some questions from this particular YouTube. So usually, for example, if you assign a video for someone to watch or kids to watch, you have to think about what questions you want to ask, right? And you think, okay, when's the pause going to be and when I'm going to put this? Whereas now, if I put this into here, it's actually going to generate the questions for me. Again, so here we go. Let's have a look. So it's giving us like, what are the phases of matter? How is a fluid defined? What's the definition of density, buoyancy? So those are different things that they've picked up from the video. Again, this is AI generated. So, I mean, I don't know how accurate these are, but again, you can go in here and edit this if you want. So remember, I can make this into something else. So I can do it real life. I don't know what it would change to a real world scenario, phases of matter. Not sure. Let's have a look in the chat here. Okay. It's okay. I can do a Quizizz. It's on back to school or summer holidays. We can do that. Okay, so here again, it's putting you into context. So you are a science teacher like Pili, explaining the basic states of matter to your students. How would you describe them? I like that. And yes, and this is apparently physics. Thank you, Pili, for that. And hi, Patricia, welcome as well. Yeah, so it's just showing, I'm just showing you, okay, you can use a link, you can use a whatever, you can use a prompt. Okay, I'll also show PDFs after. I'm going to go back to the main screen for now. Let's see if there's anyone asking anything. Okay, so let me just do one more text prompt based on who is sharing here. Let me bring this back up. Someone was asking about the back to school or summer holidays. So I can say create a fun, engaging quiz, excuse me, about summer holidays with a back to school theme. That's a lot of information, so I'm not sure how it's going to go with that. What grade would you like, Alice? Do you want to share, to tell me if you have a preference for what sort of grade level you like this for? Like I can do maybe a younger grade level. Does anyone have, actually, what grades do you all teach? You can let me know in the chat. If you have like some younger kids, I can put this maybe for a younger audience because we haven't really checked that out so far. No one's really saying anything there. So I'm just going to make it for a younger, let's maybe say grade 3, and let's say 5 questions for now. And let's see how this goes. So this will be interesting. Okay. Remember in the chat, you can just tell me, okay, if there's something you want me to check out. Let's see what's, okay, so what's the name of the season when summer holidays usually take place? Activities, name of an event. This is all about summer. So it's all saying summer holidays. It's really like picked up the key thing of summer holidays and the name of the season that comes after summer. Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll be like, sort of want to change this. Change to back to school style questions. I wonder if that will do anything or not. But yeah. Anyway, so you see how much opportunity and how many different things you can think of with this, right? So like you could just go on and on, or literally you can just go with one prompt and then be happy with whatever it comes up with. And yeah, that would be okay. It's still saying a lot of stuff with summer and things like that. You can use it in any language you like. So, I mean, if I had a website that is on, I don't know, Spanish Revolution in, I know I'm not sharing that tab right now, but or if you have advice on like a website that is in a different language and I can, I can use that website to actually generate some questions, and it should generate it in another language. Because I know a lot of you are in countries that, do not have English as the first language. So yeah. So let's just say I'm going to share this tab. So I have this Wikipedia page in Spanish that's on color. Okay. And so I can copy this particular link. I can go back to Quizizz in a moment and generate a quiz from this particular link. Okay, but it doesn't have to be Spanish. I'm just thinking of Spanish because that's like the second language that I'm thinking of in my head, but it could be in Chinese or in, I don't know, in Italian or whatever, really. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever. So here we go. Let's go generate. But yeah, it's really flexible, okay? So you can think of like any language that you might use that's really popular and you can just chuck that in there and boom. And I know Farah's just joining now, but basically you can decide if you found a really good resource in English, but you'd really like it to be more accessible to the learners in your school because they speak Arabic or something as their language, then you can just translate the whole quiz, okay, to Arabic, and it will do that for you. It's like what I showed you guys before. So translate the quiz to Arabic. I think I did that before. So you see here, like this quiz, because the source was in Spanish, all the questions are now in Spanish. Okay. I don't know if that's helpful or not. If there's any questions, I'm going to show like what it does with a PDF in a moment. Let me know if there's any questions. Let's have a look. Alice is saying grade 8. So maybe I can put some some things for like grade 8 or grade 7. There's people in here that are grade 8 or grade 7 or so. So I'm going to just show a final link. So I know I haven't talked about maths at all. So I have a math link that's about adding and subtracting fractions. And basically because, let's say, a lot of people think that when you create a quiz that's math-based, it's like boring and not very creative. So like if I pop a link in here, maybe like the questions are going to be very like half plus 1/3. What does that equal? You know, or like 3/4 times 1/9. What is that? You know, those sorts of things. It might be a bit boring. So we can make it more interesting. So okay, so what is the trick to add fractions? What is the result of adding half and half? That, yeah, is a bit boring, I guess. So I can go, let's go and magic it, AI it. Let's convert to at least a real world scenario. Let's start with that. Because at least it'll give some sort of context. Not sure what it might give, but it would give something, right? So John had 5 nights of a pizza left. He ate 2 nights of the pizza. How much pizza does he have left? Okay, so we've got the, okay, let's apply that change. But let's customize it with the prompt and make it sound like Gordon Ramsay is asking the question. Or I can just say, make it sound like Gordon Ramsay. Let's just go with that. Hopefully the response will be appropriate for the audiences that are here. Let's have a look. It's all the magic is happening apparently. Hopefully it doesn't die on that prompt. Okay. So it's saying, listen up, mate. John had a bloody pizza, right? He had 5 nights of it left. Cheeky bugger went and scoffed down 2 nights of it. How much of the pizza do you reckon he's got left now? Okay, so you see like the style of the writing, like how much it changes based on your prompt. And if you're like, yeah, this is epic, I really love this, but I'm just like, I want to translate this anyway, because why not? Let's translate this to Thai, for example. So maybe you're teaching in Thailand and you want to make it more accessible to your students, and then it can translate it to that language. And remember, as I showed before, you can go back in the video later, I showed you how you can change all of the questions at once, so not just one, okay? Yeah, any questions at the moment? Let's have a look. So I answered this question about the languages. Okay, any language, it's very flexible. Students will love it. Yes, it's really fun. You can do like a lot of stuff in here. And yes, hello, Patricia. Okay, so there you go. These are creating from either a link or creating from, what was the other thing? From a text prompt. Okay, so if this time I create from uploading a document. So you do need to be aware that PDF, Doc, and PowerPoint, those are the 3 options at the moment to be able to use. And note here, the file limit is up to 10 pages. So if you do have a very long PowerPoint, for example, that is 38 pages, it's only going to use the first 10, okay? So I have a bunch of PDFs that I can use. I could use a doc or whatnot. It's really up to you. Okay, so you can choose. So I can go, you probably, I don't know if you can see this screen right now. No, you can't see like what I'm sharing with my documents, but I'm just going to upload a document or a PDF on, what should I share? I can maybe share my screen about the PDF so you know what PDF looks like first. So I have actually a PDF from Pili who's in the chat that was about solutions and their properties, but the file is very long. Okay, so it would only take content from like the first 10 of the slides. But yeah, I can share that with you. Give me a moment here. Let me share a different screen. Okay, this is my amazing face here. Hello, everyone. Let's go with the PDF screen. Okay, so this is like a download of a presentation from the amazing Pili, for example. It has like information, okay, about this sort of stuff. I also have another PDF that is, for example, on climate change. Okay, so like a fact file on climate change in Australia. And, I have another fact file on leopards, for example. What is your preference, people in the chat? Tell me, what would you like me to put in here? Would you like me to use the leopard fact file, the climate change document, or Pillies, things about, I'm guessing this is chemistry, next level. Let me see in the chat. Yes, Pilly, you're famous. Do any of you care like what I use? I mean, I can just use this one if you want. Or do you want me to use the one on leopards? Or I can use two, and we can go from there if you like. Just let me know. Okay, let's have a... Oh, John is here. Hello, John. Okay, I got distracted. So Farah is saying climate change, and then we have the solutions. Okay, so we'll go with climate change first, and then we'll put the solutions in there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to put into the Quizizz. So I'm going to change my screen sharing again. So don't get too excited because you're going to see my amazing face again. Hello. Yes, extra big. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back to the amazing Quizizz times. Okay, so I'm going to upload a file right now. And that file, we're going to start with the climate change one. Okay, so it's uploading climate change, very exciting. And I can decide, remember, on the number of questions. Do you guys have a preference? You don't care? You think it's amazing? Whatever. We're gonna... So Patricia's saying, like, let's help Billy. I mean, we can go back to that. Anyway, it's fast. Okay, so we uploaded the file. Let's go with automatic questions. Okay, let's generate and see what it comes up with about climate change. Let's see what happens. So it does take some time to obviously analyze what's in the content, and then it can go through, These are lots of examples, but of course, when we finish this and I give you the form and you fill it out, maybe within 24 hours, you have access to the AI beta too, so you can actually go and have fun yourself and explore. I mean, you can probably think of all the different opportunities and, that you could, the different creative opportunities you have here. Okay, so it's got impacts of climate change on extreme weather sports. So it's taken, the content and created some questions for me, which is fantastic. Okay, and remember, I can change all the questions and say, make the quiz sound like, who should we put here? Who are we going to use here? Sound like what? Who do we want to let this sound like at the moment? Do you guys have any suggestions, anything that you want to hear right now? I will wait to see if anyone wants to put something in the chat. To answer Alex's question, other types of source material, so just PDFs, PowerPoints, and docs at the moment. So if you have a Word doc or a PowerPoint or a PDF, you can put it in and it will take up to 10 pages of your amazingness. Okay, Edgar Allan Poe. Let's go with this. Make the quiz sound like Edgar Allan Poe. And is it Allan with an E? Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see how it goes. I'm not sure how it would actually do this. This is why it's always interesting. You put in a prompt and you're like, what is it going to come up with? How is this going to sound actually? You don't know until it actually generates. You're like, ooh, who knows? Impressive writing speed or typing speed. Okay, well, what do you think about this? So we're saying, what, pray tell? Okay, so the question original, so I can see here the unchanged. No, it's now going to be very slow. Sorry, it's because you can compare like the unchanged with like the actual one. So the original question, I don't know if you can see in the background, let's say for question 10, because I can see that right now. So how is climate change impacting bushfires in Australia? That has changed to how is the relentless march of climate alteration influencing the ferocity of bushfires in the land of Australia? And you can see how the answer options have also changed. Instead of making bushfires less dangerous, diminishing the peril of bushfires. It's like shortening the bushfire season, contracting the bushfire season. So I don't know if that's what you're after there, but you can see there how things are changed. Okay. Anyway, that is from that PDF. Okay. I will quickly show Pillies, and then we're going to jump into Mastery Peak to finish off today, because we've done a lot of bits and pieces today with the AI, and I think I've given you a lot of examples of things that you could potentially use, things that you might want to explore yourself. But remember, like it has a good element of accessibility, okay, to change language, to fix grammatical errors and that sort of thing. Okay, let's go with 8 questions. You can go up to 15 if you're selecting, okay, manually. Let's have a look, Pilly. Let's see what is created. And yes, I guess you like Edgar Allan Poe for some reason. Anyway, let's see what is extracted here. So they can be notes of your own. So you've created notes for your kiddos and you're like, okay, I need to check their understanding. How can I do that? And instead of thinking about, what was the content, blah, 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 you can just get Quizizz to do it for you. How nice. Okay, let's have a look here, Pilly. You can evaluate and tell me, if this is okay or not. So identifying what are solutions, 3 different processes, intermolecular forces. Anyway, there's 10 questions here. Okay, and maybe these are important to you, maybe not. Remember, you can always customize and say, okay, I want more questions like this style, or I want to change, blah, 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 all those sorts of things. Are there any questions at the moment about AI? So explore more. Yes, it is pretty amazing and awesome. Yes. Any questions in general? Otherwise, we're going to go back to the slides in a moment. I've been sharing on AI for quite a bit, but there's so many things you can do, right? Just remember, just press the wand and then you have all these different things you can do. Just remember, you can always change the questions, okay? And you can always use the prompt in the AI. Literally just say, convert half of the questions to drag and drop, or da-da-da-da. You can see that, you have all these suggestions. You're like, I'm not sure what I want to do, but I want to make it cooler. And then you have all these options here for you. Okay, look, add 5 similar questions to the quiz. Maybe you don't have enough. Remove, if there are duplicate questions, because that can happen, just remove them. You don't even need to think. You just do that first and blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's have a look in the chat. Anything here? It is user-friendly, and Pilly is saying awesome. Okay, so because I know a lot of you, you have so many resources as teachers, right? Whether it's a PDF or this website that you really like using with kids, but you want to find out a way to check their understanding and make it like engaging for them, then Quizizz is going to help you a lot, especially with the AI features. Okay, so going back to this slide, so the last main, the reports. So the reports thing is coming, but it's not live right now. So this is a video from Quizizz that they've shared it with me, so you can see like how this works with the reporting side, because after you run a game and you see the reports of what the students have done and how they've gone, you might be like, okay, so what can I do with this? How should I analyze it? And very soon, maybe within 2 weeks, they said, this will become active. So there's no volume on here, so it's just watching. I'm going to pause so you can see like what's going on here. Okay, let me go back for a moment. So at this starting point, so you're like in the, let me make this full screen. Let's see if you can see this in here. Let me remove Pilly's comment. Okay, so when you get into reports in the future, you will have this cute little AI assistant. And it's like, okay, you can ask me for help with any of the things. And one of the suggested things is help me identify the concepts the students are struggling with. So if you click on that, boom. So here it's already identified that exponential equations and quadratic functions are areas that students are struggling with at the moment. So what can you do with this? You might be like, okay, exponential equations, I want to find some practice quizzes on this topic, to help build that particular understanding. So, you can see and look at all these things here. A lot of kids got those questions wrong. let's check this out. So then it's actually given you here a suggested quiz, exponential equations, and you can assign practice to 9 students because the AI has identified which students need practice with this particular topic, which is super cool. Usually you have to go through the report, right? Then you check the questions and see which students got that particular question wrong. What topic was that from? Okay, these students, they need to practice this topic again. Whereas in very, very soon, the AI option is going to include this in the report section where you can literally go, okay, what do they need? And let me assign it to those particular kids, which I think is awesome. So anyway, that's just me being enthused. So I'm going to assign the practice to the 9 students, and now that has been assigned, which is very cool. And maybe quadratic functions. Okay, let's check this one. I have another 9 students. Okay, and okay, here we go. So there you go. So again, this is not live right now, but it's coming very soon, and hopefully you're very excited about like that as much as I will. So let's have a look to see what people are asking. This combined with standards will help a lot with data analysis for sure. Will it push to Google Classroom? I reckon so. I mean, if you have set it to that, I think yes. But okay, but remember, Jessica, this is like brand new and hasn't gone live yet, so I haven't been able to play with it. But I would say that would be a good thing. And if Quizizz is watching, then they can be like, oh yes, that would be good. We can push that to Google Classroom. Yeah. But yes, I don't know. Because on Google Classroom, you can select students, right? So maybe Quizizz can do that. That would be very cool. And then Alice, yes, so excited to discover it. I'm glad that you're enthusiastic too. Okay, you get out of this. Go to the next slide. Okay, so hopefully you're excited about AI. So to finish off the session today, I wanted to showcase Mastery Peak, which is one of my favorite live modes of Quizizz. It's very exciting. So basically with Mastery Peak, you want kids to achieve mastery, right? So you are going to experience this as students because I'm going to drop a live link into the chat in about 1 minute where you can go and experience it. And I'm going to show you from a teacher view, and then you can see it from a student view, and I'll also demo it as a student view. But yeah, you can choose like a level you want students to achieve, and students can reattempt questions until they get to that level that you would like. And they have all these like interesting I don't know, like blocks and like and puzzles that they need to solve along the way. And you guys are going to do this very soon, which is very exciting. Yeah. Because usually if you do a live game, students don't have so much control about like what options to choose as far as like to make it more fun. Whereas in Mastery Peak, they do have this option. So I've got Alex sharing that he tried it a couple of times and they liked it. Felt less frustrated. That's super positive. That's excellent. Okay, hopefully you're very excited because I'm going to drop a link in the chat in a moment. So I'm going to show you how I start a Mastery Peak quiz as well, just in case you want to see how I do it. So I'm in my Quizizz. I'm going to go to my library. You can select any question you want. We are going to do a trivia one. We're going to play and we're going to do a live quiz. So here we have the Mastery Peak, which is in beta. I can decide what the mastery goal is. So it has to be 60 or above. So maybe I'm going to set for you guys 70. We might not finish the game, but the idea is for you to have an idea. The idea is for the idea. Yes. The idea is for you to have, experience with how Mastery Peak works and what it looks like for you. So you have lots of different options to choose from here. But for now, we're just going to set it to this. And I'm going to say continue. So it is going to pop up with a code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to post it into the StreamYard. You can also join from the screen and the details here. So join here. So I have just posted this in the chat for you. You can either use the instructions that are on the screen right now, which is joinmyquiz.com and enter the game code, or you can use the link that is in the chat. It is a trivia thing, so there's lots of random questions in here. Hopefully you do feel successful. We already have Alex and Jess, and we have Mariam and Pat. Is that Pat? Yay. Oh, and then Kyle's here. Hi, Kyle. Yes, I spent a long time on AI because that was very exciting. And now we're finishing off with Mastery Peak, which I think is super fun. But basically, when you're doing a quiz like this, you can press start and kids can still join, okay? So I might give 10 more seconds and I'm going to press start. And I'll show it from what this teacher view looks like. And you can decide whether you want to share like the teacher view or you don't want to. I mean, it's totally up to you. And I'm also going to show you as a student what that looks like. Okay. If anyone wants to join a bit later, that is fine. The link is in the chat. But we have 6 people, which is very exciting. I'm going to press start. I could also show the QR code. Okay, so there's lots of different options of how to join a Quizizz. Anyway, okay, let's go, guys. Good luck. So for me as an instructor, I can see from here where each person is at and how they're going, okay? So I can see, for example, Jessica is already speeding away and so is Alex. But I can decide whether I want to show this screen to everyone or not, okay? But you guys can start, guys. I know some of you are at the bottom there at the moment. The rest of you are just chilling here. And then I'm going to show you from a student view. So if I use the link that I put in the chat, if possible, I'm going to open up a new tab because I'm sharing my screen. Like for whoever's, if you're watching the recording, you wouldn't have been able to join the live. So I'm going to show you what it would be like if you had to join the live. Okay. And we'll come back to you guys in a moment. So I have pasted this in. I'm going to say, yes, I am the male A. So you notice I'm joining it even though I've already started the game. Okay, so some kids, they take a while to join. That's okay though. Let's see what happens. Reorder the metric system. I mean, at least I'm Australian, so I would drag. Let's go millimeter. Oh no, what's decimeter? I don't know what decimeter is. Okay, I can just guess and you'll see what happens. Okay, this is going to be wrong, but that's okay. Okay, let's submit. And storing your result. Oh, actually got it right. I didn't know decimeter was bigger than centimeter. That's very exciting. Okay, let's press next. What's the smallest country in the world? Oh, I have no idea. Nauru. Probably, it's Vatican. Okay, fine. And see, I get another chance at it. Yay. Let's go for Vatican then. Okay. And now I'm in the silver tier. Ooh. Okay, and then you have an obstacle. So I can decide, do I want the dangerous, Jessica Adams, excuse me. Really? Okay. So you see students, they can go and disrupt you, which is very sad. I like how Pilly's actually sharing her decimeter is 10 centimeters. Thanks. Okay, I would like, choose a path. So I could choose a dangerous cave or 50-50, or I can go and break something else open. Ooh, an eraser. I can eliminate one incorrect option. Do I know 7 + 1? It is 8. Anyway, you can see basically here how this works. Okay, I'm going to reshare my teacher view. Let's see how people are going. Okay, guys, you can do this. Okay, who's this? Who's moving? GH is moving. Yeah. So you guys can just keep, you can keep answering questions. You can choose, there's some people at mastery already. Congratulations. But the thing is that you just give them time, okay, and they can just keep going. You can see like all the tiers. You have bronze, silver, and gold as they go through the obstacles, choose their path. I think it's more fun. Let me just see if you guys think it's fun or if you don't think it's fun. I don't know. But I mean, yeah. And then I can end it, okay, whenever I feel like it. I am going to end it because, unfortunately, we're reaching the end here. It's already like an hour. Can someone do another avalanche? Who is doing that? Goodness gracious me. Farah. Okay. Okay, Farah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, can you see how creative it is? And you always hear it in the classroom. The students like, no, who did that? Why did you do that? Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to end this. I know you're very excited and you love this and you want to keep going with it. And you're like, no, don't end it. But I'm going to end it just so you see what the end part here. Okay, so I'm ending. 7 players are not done yet. So usually in the class, I would not end it. I would just keep it open and kids can just finish it whenever they want. Okay, it's only if I end it, then they're like, doop, They cannot go any further. So I'm just ending it so you know what it looks like at the end here. So I can decide whether to show this. So I can decide whether to show this or not, and it's gonna go through all this sort of thing. And who can't do this? That's so good. Okay, anyway. Oh, I can skip this as well. Okay, so like, well done, Pat, for being a warrior. Most obstacles survived. Anyway, so I can see here what was the growth. There was 4% growth. So with some, for example, one of my groups that I worked with yesterday, they grew from 30% average to 95% average because they just kept on re-going and trying to get to that 100%, you know. So they keep on having those opportunities. They're going to keep trying. You guys did not have so many extra opportunities, and maybe the questions were easy. I don't know. And I know most of you couldn't finish the quiz. So anyway, hopefully that was a fun experience for you and you got to actually, you know, have some good good times. Okay, and Jessica say she was hyper focused on winning and missed everything else. Anyway, you have the idea there, right? This is another, obviously it's not AI, but it's another way to, you know, make things quite interactive. So we just had this amazing live demo on Mastery Peak. So here are some next steps for you. I'm going to drop the link to the slides and the Google form in the chat so you can actually get access on all the things in a moment. Let me send this. But yeah, I don't. So basically, if you do not have super right now and you would like super, if you run a quiz in your classroom or assign it as homework within the next couple of weeks, 6th of September might not be 2 weeks from today. That might be something else. But anyway, I can adjust that. You can get a 1 month bonus of super quizzes. You do not need super to play with the AI. So within a day, so I'm going to send like the results of this to Quizizz so they have all your email IDs, okay? Within 24 to 48 hours, you should have access to Quizizz AI beta. So you can create from there, which is very exciting. I'm very excited for you all. Okay, so I have dropped the link to the Google form in the chat for you. So because you have attended today, you will have the AI access as soon as Quizizz is able to give you access. Just make sure in the form that you do fill in the details. I'll go through the form with you in a moment. Before that, does anyone have any questions that they would like me to answer now? I mean, you can always reach me later. I'll show my email and contact details, and I'll drop the slides into the chat for you. Let me put that in. No one is asking anything at the moment. So I'm just dropping the slides in the chat there for you. Okay, if you would like that, they are there. And the form is here. And okay, let me just quickly share the form just in case you need to know what to do here. So basically just put your name here. So first and last name. Just put in the day of the training. Location is just where you're based, just so I know like where you are. Where do you want to get your certificate? So you can say like it's 1 hour of PD. I know some of you, it's important to get it to a particular address. And what address you use for Quizizz. It might be the same one that you want your certificate on, but I know that some people, the address that you use for Quizizz is different to the other ones. So just put that in there. How effective was the event? What was interesting? What do you still hope to learn? And any feedback for me. Hopefully that is clear. And thanks, Alex, for coming in. Nice to see you. Yeah. Are there any questions about the form, or you guys are quite clear with that? Hopefully. Okay. So thank you very much for that. I did not put my contact details. So let's see. So I'll put that here. Usually I have that in the slides. I can edit them later. My email is there, and my Twitter if you need it, because I do respond to that pretty fast. If you need it for any particular reason, just let me know. But I do appreciate you all coming in today, whether it is evening or morning or afternoon or whatever time. Over here at 7 p.m. and I know in Jordan it's another hour. But yeah, you can connect with me in any of these ways, but I should have your email from the Google Forms anyway, so I can contact you by there. So if you would like a certificate, you would like to have free super, you would like AI upgrade, then please fill in the form, okay? Because if you do not fill in the form, unfortunately, we don't have a record of your email address, so we can't actually give you anything if you do not actually put in your details in the form, okay? So I will drop that in again here, okay? And I can also link it in the notes. So thank you again, everyone, for participating today. It was really fun to have you all active, and hopefully you learned something new. And just reach out to me if you've got any questions in the future about Quizizz. Or the Quizizz team are very, very supportive. Okay. So yeah, thank you very much again, and I'll see you another time. And thank you so much for all the feedback here. I'm glad that you are being positive and you're happy with what's going on there. And thanks, Kyle, for dropping in too. And yeah, see you another time, everyone. Bye.